We have an agenda in front of us. I will hear a motion to approve it.
I so move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed, it passes. I will hear a motion to approve minutes from November 7th.
Motion.
Second? Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed.
Here's a quick staff report. We're going to start doing yearly reports. You guys don't have quite as many cases as the HPC, but if you guys can see, we had 20 total cases, 11 of those were public hearings, 8 were administrative approvals, and 1 was a complimentary review. If you're looking at these percentages, the way that we've divided major and minor, when you see that verbiage, when you apply for a certificate of appropriateness, you state if it's a major or minor change, and the threshold for that is $10,000 worth of work. So that's where that division comes from. And you guys are doing great work, and we really appreciate you. We're going to start doing these yearly, so we'll be able to, like, year over year, compare number of cases, what are we seeing, the most of, that kind of thing. So this is just the first stab at it.
Cool.
Interesting.
I like
Thanks.
it.
Yeah.
We had 3 administrative approvals. Does the commission have any questions or discussion on those? Nope. Okay. Public hearing, case number 425, COA requested by Emily Blount for exterior renovations at 1001B Van Buren Avenue, which is around the back or side, I guess, of the building in the alleyway.
It basically faces that row of windows at Rafters. That makes sense. Okay, so case number 425. You'll see this is a little bit out of the ordinary that the building is not listed as contributing or non-contributing. Our consultant, I suppose, considered it all a part of that building that used to have Bells and Bows 1001 Van Buren, because they're all attached at this point, although you can see that the building does sort of have its own parapet and presents as its own little building, even though it's attached to that whole long row. When we looked back at the Sanborn maps, she had the front building dated circa 1935, and you'll see that this sort of fill-in part of the strip of buildings is present by the 1948 Sanborn, so it was built at some point before 1948. The applicant intends to use this space for office space and some kitchen prep, and you'll see that they plan to install new 1/1 double-hung windows, a new full-light door, and a new aluminum and glass garage door. The design guidelines recommend that new windows should be installed when historic windows are completely missing, and that new windows should be compatible with existing openings. The proposed new double-hung window and door are simple and appropriate for the existing openings, especially in light of the fact that we don't have any information or photos of what used to exist in those spaces, although you can clearly see where the openings were bricked in. While a garage door would not be appropriate for every building in the historic district, this building, although it does face a street, that area sort of functions as an alley for all of the businesses in that area, and there is a garage door across the street, and there is an existing opening where a garage door used to exist on that facade. So staff finds it appropriate for this building and for this location. So we're recommending approval of the COA as proposed, and Virginia Lukenbach is here on behalf of the applicant, if anyone has questions for her.
Anyone on the commission have anything to discuss? Questions? Comments? Virginia, I'm assuming you don't want to speak unless...
I'm happy to answer the questions you have.
I will hear a motion.
I move that we approve the COA.
Second it.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed.
Great.
Any other business from the commission? I'm going to ask our question we ask every couple months about 208.
Yeah.
Is there any update, any movement, is there anything the commission can do to help compel at least a fence to be removed and some grass to be planted?
Yeah, I think that's in the works.
Okay.
Grass to, maybe the hole to be filled in, sod, and the fence comes down. I don't know the ETA on that, but that was a discussion that was taking place prior to Christmas, so that, I'll follow up on that.
Sorry to apply the pressure, but I don't know about the rest of the commission, but once people learn you're on the commission, they say, what's going on with 208?
Yes, that's exactly what they say.
People ask me that a lot too.
All right.
The park next door looks nice.
Yeah,
It does, it looks great.
Coming together.
it's great.
Hopefully it'll be open soon.
One more thing that I was thinking about yesterday, it's been a long time since we talked about it, but we did talk about preservation awards. And I know that was some time ago, but have we thought about that anymore?
We have not. Most recent projects have been getting the surveys updated, and then now we're working on a grant to update the design guidelines. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We have not planned to put an award program in place. I know we did talk about it.
We just thought it would be a positive thing so that when people come to us and say, what about 208? They
Yeah.
might also have read, oh, look, the Lyric won an award for its great
Restoration.
efforts at preservation in the renovation of their building.
Yes.
But Dorothy, if that's something that you would like to help us spearhead to put together, we would
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
we would welcome that.
I volunteer to have the trophies made.
That's a big administrative part.
Okay, I will go to the trophy shop.
That's a big administrative part, but we have to figure out the steps to get before that. So categories, things like that, who would qualify, all of those elements. So if you would like to be on, I leave it up to the chairman. If he'd like to appoint, a subcommittee of this committee, this commission, then that would be great. But we, in all seriousness, it's something that we've talked about for many years. I think it would be great. I think our highest priority right now has been the design guidelines, and we're applying for a CLG grant that will help us. The process that they have is you have an intent to apply, and then whether based on your intent to apply, then they tell you to apply. So kind of take it as if you make it past the first step, then you're pretty much a lock for the second step. But so we have a deadline for the end of this month for that application. We've been working on that, trying to figure that out. But that's something that we really need done. And as part of that, we were actually just talking about this moments ago. We're looking at different categories within the design guidelines, actually having a commercial section, so separating them out from the residential, because both of our commissions actually use the same set of design guidelines, and trying to make them a lot more graphical, so that way it's not just text, we're demonstrating those elements. And Mississippi Department of Archives and History were very supportive of that. And so once we get to February, then, once we get that submitted, then I think that would open the door for us to maybe work with all of you to pull together what you would like to see for those awards. Maybe something that could be done is if you see other historic preservation commissions that have an awards program, help us find that. We'll kind of look through there, but maybe you'll come across some that you think are good examples that we might be able to use for our commission. So,
Do you envision it like there's like a ceremony, or it would happen at a yearly meeting?
I do not envision a ceremony, but if you want to have one, I'm not opposed to it. I was envisioning something in the newspaper. Do we have a newspaper? Something in on social media that's, so like, no, maybe for both commissions, maybe for new construction, or a category for a renovation, or renovating to like it used to be, or, I don't know what the categories would be, but we talked about it a few years ago as just being the committee that doesn't just say no all the time. you know,
Can you go for a percentage-wise, we say yes?
An awful lot.
well, we're gonna put this in the article, too. That green chunk.
Yeah.
It's helpful to see it, though, I mean, even us that, when we're in the weeds of this every single day and taking a step back and looking at that, I mean, administrative approvals have helped the commission, I think, tremendous. Not the commission, residents, business owners in our city, having to wait for an approval for a sign, I mean, I remember back 2015 when I started here, and, depending on when you submitted, you might have to wait 50 days or 45 days before you're able to actually get your sign approved, and that doesn't really, that's not conducive for a business. So I think those really help. Yeah.
So we hear you, but the guidelines, I think, is gonna be a big project, and we'll be calling on you guys for that. I mean, I think we'll have focus groups with the community, with people like Virginia and the engineers and architects, and also with the commission, just to see what can be done to make them easier to read and more useful to us and to residents.
Yeah, but I also don't think that an awards program would be that difficult to pull together. Categories, what types of things are we thinking about? New construction, modifications, champions, people that are advocates. I think that could be something that we could very easily do by implement it for maybe later this year. Got it.
All right, any more discussion? I'll hear a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Of the night.
Aye. What?
I said easiest one of the night.